Welcome to the Jacksonville Momcast, a podcast dedicated to real stories for real parents. Each episode, we'll chat with local Jacksonville moms and cover topics to help you navigate mom life on the First Coast. Thanks for joining us as we tackle all things motherhood and more with a focus on the 904. Welcome to episode 7 of Jacksonville Momcast. Today, our guest is Terry Masher. Terry is a Jacksonville mom, a hiking enthusiast, and the author of the book Backcountry Trails of Florida, a guide to hiking Florida's water management districts. In this episode, Terry chats with us about what led her to write a book, her favorite hiking spots in Jacksonville, and she even gives us a few day trip ideas to help us get the kids outside and engaged with nature. Thanks for listening. Welcome today, Monika Colichio. Monika, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, let me do it. I guess I started photography about 7-8 years ago, but let me go from the beginning. I have a lot of friends photographers, and I have some kind of backstory about, my parents were into photography, or I went to art school, or somebody inspired me. For me, it was never like that because I was kind of into. I was in a business school when I was young, and accounting and banking, all that stuff. But when I was very creative as a child. So I was always into crafts, drawing, building things, I always thought that, God gave me 2 hands to create. So that's what I was doing. I wasn't wealthy enough to go to the art school. So, I just did my own thing. But I remember as a kid, when they asked, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a hairdresser. It was either that or I want to build the car engines. So it was always something similar with creating things, and just making something special in your life. And I kind of think that honestly, each of us is a creator in some ways,
Absolutely.
But, yeah, I really believe that. And I have a lot of people saying, oh, you're such an artist, you're doing this. I'm like, well, you are artist too. You cook the meal for your family every day. You go to the store and you figure out what outfit you want. That takes some, creativity as well.
Absolutely.
So we all make something. But anyway, so that kind of started with me. I got into photography. Where was that? So first I moved to States after I married. And then I had a moment in my life when I was into building things. I spent most of my life in a garage with tools, building furnitures and painting and stuff like that. And then when I became pregnant, I got my first digital camera because I knew, and I got the camera that you can record videos as well because I want to have something to record, to record in the hospital, right? So I was doing lots of pictures when the babies were born, and to me they were perfect because I was looking through mom's Googles, and and they were all beautiful until maybe a year after I noticed that I could do better. So I started learning photography a little bit, going online and YouTube some things, and I went into this photography forum and different blogs, so I was doing lots of that. And soon enough, after I was posting pictures on social media, on Facebook especially, I have friends asking me to do pictures for them. And that's how it went. They've seen a picture of my kid and they wanted something like that of their own. And that's how the business started.
That's very, very interesting how transition. What was it like your first paid photography job?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and that's kind of funny because now when I look back, there are a lot of different photographers on the market, right? There are lots of photographers who are just starting and they don't charge a lot. They charge very little because they're just starting. And sometimes it becomes frustrating because you look at their work and you think you can charge so much more, right? And I was that person. I was afraid to charge more because a lot of times those were the people who, knew me as a friend or a neighbor or friend of a friend. And I pretty much gave away a lot of images for very little. And it was more like a friendship thing. Oh yeah, I'll do it for you because I love it. I'm a hobbyist. So it was pretty much that. It was, I think there was a family of 2 kids, like a family of 4, and they were neighbors of mine. So we went to the Jacksonville Park and had the pictures of them. And she wanted to pay me, and I felt bad taking money from her, but she paid me eventually, either way.
I think a lot of moms who have kind of transitioned from hobby to professional can really relate to that story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. You feel bad until you really look into the photography as a business and you realize that it's not only about taking pictures. You do have to register your business. You have to pay for the insurance and just lots of, different costs into it,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your photography and what you specialize in.
Okay, so I don't like to think I have a one genre. I don't like to think it's just one style I do. It's not just newborns. It's not just family. I like to think that I do emotive photography. So just capturing emotions altogether. And that could be babies, it could be children, it could be family, it could be couples. Sometimes I do like small events, like small weddings. Sometimes, I actually travel sometimes for photography. Like I travel to Colorado and I photograph elopements with my friend. She is a great photographer and I was helping her out. But what I really appreciate and feel really honored, it's when I meet clients that I can photograph pretty much their whole life for them. Meaning they contact me when she's pregnant, so I do maternity session for them. And then they want to do maternity newborn package because they want to have pictures of the baby. So I do baby's pictures or newborn pictures for them, either at home or hospital, And then after that, there are baby pictures. So almost every year we update the pictures. Then we do family pictures. So honestly, that's something I value the most. Clients like this. And thankfully, I have a lot of clients like that. And, after a while, you just become, friends, like a family. I know you build the trust, and it's a lot easier for them to put the guard down and capture them the way they really are, not post,
And I think people really love that. They love having a photographer they can trust.
Yes.
They love someone who can really see their family the way they see their family.
Absolutely. It's important. Connecting with your client is very important, and making them feel like you understand what they want to capture, what stage of their life they're going through. If you have to kind of go through the other way, just as what you would look from photographer if you were as a client. So I try to think this way.
So that's a great segue. Let's talk a little bit about, moms trying to get some pictures of their kids. Not everybody can hire a photographer for every single event. It's for most families an annual thing, or even maybe twice a year, or like you said, for the big milestones. So first, let's start with some of your favorite locations around Jacksonville for pictures. What are some spots where, if I as a mom wanted to just get some good candid pictures of my kids, where would you recommend?
Okay, so I would recommend the places that simply have a meaning to you. So my favorite places, it's not a beach only, it's not the park only or special one location, it's the place that means something to my client. So that's how I decide, where the picture is going to be taken. I have a chat with them. I ask them questions. I want to find out if there is one place that you like to go together as a family, or you have kind of special memories from that place. So sometimes, honestly, it could be as simple as a window of your bedroom, like just standing in front of the window in your bedroom. It creates the best photographs for you. It just kind of allows you to be the most honest and open and just kind of raw. So it really depends what they're looking for, when they're the most comfortable. you know?
And I think that's important, especially when you talk about photographing kids, because I think that kids are so different in a area where they feel familiar or at home or comfortable versus someplace new and unknown. It kind of gives you a different perspective as a child too.
Yeah, but moms too. I gotta tell you, it really, because we tend to be stressed because we put the all pressure on, okay, preparing for the session on us, right? I mean, let's be honest here. When the session is booked, it's like, okay, mom is looking for the photographer, mom is matching the outfits, mom is preparing the kids, putting some snacks in the bag just in case so she can bribe them, right? Mom is talking.
Absolutely.
Mom needs to like build the excitement with her husband, so because he does this for her, not for himself, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what it is. Yeah.
So let's talk about, as a mom, how do you deal with a child who really doesn't want their picture taken? And it could be a toddler, but as someone who has older kids, it could also be a teenager. What are some strategies that you use or that moms could use to kind of ease that tension and, get that happy Christmas card, perfect picture that everybody's looking for?
So, and this is exactly what I tried kind of redefine Christmas perfect picture that everybody is looking for. I think because we are looking for those perfect pictures everybody wants to see, we are putting too much pressure on ourselves and we're stressing. So what I usually say as I'm walking from the meeting place, if we meet in the parking lot, for example, when we walk into the location, let's say beach, right? I have a talk with my clients and I talk to them over the phone as well, telling them that try just let go. If they don't look at me, even if they don't listen, trust me, I will get it one way or the other. I might chase them down on the beach. I might take them away from you for a little bit on the side so you're not standing there, but I will get it. I promise you, I will get that moment and I will get them the way they are. Not fake smile, not, oh yeah, I don't want to be there, look on their face, but just truly the way, the personality that you see in your kid every day. So in the case when we have a small child, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes sessions are booked. Unfortunately, they cannot fit it in the nap time the way they want because they travel, for example, right? Or someone's at work and stuff like that. So there can be time that child will be more shy, or it will be more clingy because he doesn't know me, right? So it's just a new situation. There's this lady with a camera coming very close, or talking to them. But I usually say just embrace them. If they're small, if they're crying, or if they don't want to get down, just give him or give her a hug. Let them put their face in your neck. Just put the arms around them, and I will take a picture of that. I cannot tell you how many pictures of moments like this I took, and the parents absolutely love them. And sometimes that child might be crying because doesn't want to go down. There are times when and then 5 minutes later he's perfectly fine running around, and I'm chasing him down the beach. So not forcing the moment. Just let them be whatever they want to do. If they want to hold on to you, I will take pictures of those little fingers grabbing to your arm, and you're gonna love that picture, or the curls, or the details, whatever that is. Those are older kids. Let them run. I got it. I have 2 kids too. Trust me, I chased my kids down the beach before. I got it.
Those are some great tips. Let's talk about what you should wear for pictures.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of articles out there. You can search Pinterest. There's like 1,000 different things you can find. What do you think gives the best results as far as not being matchy-matchy, but a cohesive look for pictures?
Okay. So, that's always good inspiration. Pinterest is not a bad thing. It gives you some good ideas of the color combinations, things like that, what will look good together. Buy something or get something for yourself that you will be comfortable in. That's number one. Not something that you usually wouldn't wear, because you would look at a picture and you will think, what were I thinking? That's not my usual thing. It's not my usual outfit. So get something you love to wear. And so there are a couple of things I'm asking my clients when they're considering their outfits. I've asked, would you want to hang your photograph on the wall? Are you looking for it? Because that's kind of important. You're spending money on a session to actually print it, get a big canvas and put it on the wall, actually present the art, right, of your family. And if they say yes, I'm like, okay, what color combinations you have in your house? Because if you have a naturals or grays, so different outfit, the different colors will go, better with the grays and better with the beige, better with the blues. So I usually ask about that. Then I ask about, do you usually wear dresses or jeans? You're more casual. What is it? And then we go from there. So the colors, there's so many options. Matching different colors together, you can go wrong there. You can always ask photographers. And honestly, I have my clients sending me pictures from their shopping trip and asking me, okay, which one? All the time. And I also have some clients who want to pay me to go shopping with them. Because they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you join me? And yeah, so color combination is not something that is hard to figure out. Once we kind of, connect together, figure out together, what will look good. But I kind of tell my clients, mix basic with pattern, but not very busy pattern, and texture. So those three things: basic, pattern, texture, and stay away from logos. Those are three things that kind of important. The color really depends on what you usually wear, what will look good on the canvas that you will hang in your house or frames or any kind of art,
That's some very good tips. I had never thought about coordinating with your home decor, and I don't know why.
It depends, right? But you want this, it's investment.
Absolutely.
If house, if you go to the store and I don't know, you go to, I don't know where would you go buy? Home Goods. You go to the Home Goods, buy the canvas or wall art, right? You will think, okay, what color my wall I have in the bedroom? Would this picture go with it? So why is that different, right?
Absolutely. That's a really good tip. And it's kind of a good starting point too. If you're if you're overwhelmed and you don't know how to start, you can start by just kind of looking at what's around your house.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, and then what you look good in, right? Like what colors match you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with the holidays coming up and things are different this year, we might be meeting in much smaller groups or just our family unit. What are some tips you have for families to take some of those casual family pictures at Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I want to tell you one thing. Selfies. Take selfies. You have to take selfies, and I'll tell you why. Because when my kids were little and we have any kind of, I don't know, a holiday gathering or any kind of moment really, I was all about taking pictures of my kids and their dad, of my kids and their grandparents, of my kids and their friends. And guess what? I barely have any pictures of me and my kids. That's something that as mothers, we are forgetting. And I imagine lots of us looking through the camera and thinking, I don't have one good picture of me and my babies. So, right now, honestly, iPhones have such a good, quality cameras that you can take some great pictures of you and your kids and any moment, really. So yes, take a picture that you are in. Even if you can see just half of your face or but it's a proof you are there,
Absolutely. So, and it's so important, especially like we said, if you're a family that hires a photographer, once a year or every other year, even twice a year, you want more than just twice a year pictures of you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Very important.
Okay, so take lots of selfies. I like that. That's a great tip and something you wouldn't necessarily hear from a professional photographer. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, trust me. I'm getting in a picture of my kids, and a lot of times I'm cutting my face off a little bit. But at least they know, I'm there. And not only that, print those pictures. There's so many services now that you can, if you don't want to print things on the wall that overwhelms you, I don't know, do a photo book once a year. And I make sure you lay it down somewhere in the living room so they can actually look through it.
Do you have any favorite photo book services you like?
I think chatbooks were the one I was using a while ago. I use professional printing companies most of the time, But chart books were the ones I like the most.
That's
Yeah.
good to know.
They're very small. And then I think they have a like square format. So
That's
Mhm.
nice.
Mhm.
So if somebody's looking to hire, if a mom is looking to hire a professional photographer for family pictures, what are some questions they should ask? What should they look for as a consumer going out to hire somebody? What are some red flags or some things they should ask the photographer before they decide that they're a good fit for them?
Well, number one, first they need to look in the portfolio before they even ask any questions. Look in the portfolio and make sure that the style of the photographer matches how they want to be captured. Because everybody likes different things. And honestly, I remember I was teaching photography 4 years ago. I started teaching photography as well. And I remember starting understanding, how different we all see beauty. So we could have a group of 10 photographers, and our homework was to take a picture of apple. I don't know, an apple, right? Or flowers. And we all end up taking pictures of flowers on apple, but all in different perspective and edited differently. Some of them you was with more painterly. The other ones use like a low light. The other ones, I don't know, use a lot of Photoshop, And so this is the same thing that separates photographers anywhere. You have photographers who shoot with more traditionally, the other ones who like to play with the image more, the other ones that the picture looks like like a painting pretty much, right? And then some others pay attention to like connections or like black and white, dramatic images. There's so many choices out there. So make sure you choose the style that you like, because what you don't want to do, and unfortunately, it's not unfortunate because I don't mind doing this. I do have sometimes clients send in. It doesn't happen often, but I do have clients who contact me and they would send me picture from the Pinterest and ask me to create something like that. And it's nothing like my work, right? So most of the time, I redirect them to someone who can do something like this for them. Or if I have someone who is asking me for the studio photography with artificial light only, and I know I love more of the natural light images. I do some, studio photography, but not a lot. Then, I kind of say, you might have to go to someone else. And I tell them exactly again, where. It's okay to send them to someone who can help them better. You want to make sure you service people who love what you do and, how you do it. So you want to find the clients who match you, and the clients need to find the photographers that matches their needs as well. So that's very important. Then number two, obviously a budget, right? Because that makes a big difference. You don't always have, enough money to pay for the high-end photographer, and you might sometimes be more willing to just, hire a photographer that you don't like so much the style, but you can afford them, right? I'm kind of believer in here in saving money for something that you really want, and just have an honest conversation with the photographer that, okay, well, I was planning to spend a little less. Can I pay, I don't know, in 2 payments, for example? Can I do that? And honestly, when I book my clients, they don't pay the full session right away. They pay just a retainer. Let's say 2 months before session, they book the session, they pay the retainer, and that's how they get in my books. We schedule the session, we have a chat about, details of the session, locations, outfits. I help them with all of that. I learn a little bit things about them and about their children and, and how they interact together. And then day of the session, they pay the last payment. And sometimes I can do 2 payments on top of that, So budget, style, and get photographer that you can feel comfortable with, and someone who cares. Because if they care, they will pour the heart out into those pictures. It won't be, okay, the session is hour long and they will be on the clock. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We started at 6, time to go. It will be, okay, we got it. Or like, let's stay extra longer, 15 minutes. Or, let's go here, let's go there. You figure out different ways to get absolutely the best images of you. So someone who cares, honestly, and understand that this is investment and you try hard to prepare everyone. And this, this might not happen for another year or more. So, yeah.
Those are some good tips. And I think it's also important to mention when you mentioned budget, a lot of photographers offer a lot of different options as far as
Oh,
budget.
absolutely.
And some,
Yeah.
you can, if you watch their social media, sometimes they offer like a mini session, which
Yeah.
is typically less money, fewer
Yeah.
prints. But if there is somebody that you absolutely love their work and you
Yes.
can't afford, a 2-hour session with them,
Mhm.
then sometimes those other options do kind of pop up. You just got to,
Yeah.
pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an option too. But honestly, just talk to them, because the mini sessions are great. But this is the thing: if you have a mini session and you love more images than what they offer in the mini sessions, you're gonna have a hard time choosing them. I have a lot of people that if I did mini sessions, then they asking me to do more. I'll give them more images, right? And they want to purchase full session then. It's pretty much, I'm like, well, I kind of knew this is going to happen, because it's hard to choose if you love your pictures. So they end up asking for more digital images, and I don't know, we split the payment, for example, right? Yeah.
That's a good tips.
Yeah, we are humans. You just talk to each other.
So any last tips or anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Yeah, you know what? I honestly think the most important detail when you're looking for a photographer, when you want to have your session done, when you're finally ready, it's to not compare yourself to anyone. Don't look at the pictures of the friends that posted on social media. Don't pay attention to the Pinterest, inspirations, and just kind of allow to be photographed for where you are and just be proud of it. Just try to just relax as much as you can. Don't put too much stress on yourself, and don't pretend to be something you are not, because we tend to put the best foot forward and try so hard to be perfect, but we already are. We don't need to try so hard. You are who you are. We are supposed to be different, and honestly, like we with each family I photograph all children, I absolutely love it, because I learn from each of the person I meet, and I have a pleasure to photograph them, and they leave huge impact of me, and they're all different. They all have a different stories. They all go through different things, different personalities, and that's the best thing.
I think that's a great closing sentiment.
Yeah.
So thank you, Monika, for being our guest. And we're going to put links to your site and your social media in our program notes. So if anybody wants to find you for some photography services, they can.
That's awesome.
And I think we're good. Was there anything else you thought maybe we should chat about, or you think we covered? You did great.
Oh, thank you. No, I think we're good.
You did really good. Some of your stuff all of it was really good. It was very, it really spoke to moms, which I loved. Like it really, and you're right. It's the moms that book this. My husband could care less if there's any pictures of any.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's our doing for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be actually a good one. That might be actually a good question. Because, okay, so before I book the session, I always get on the phone or meet, obviously before the COVID, with my clients. And I ask them some questions about their families, what important stage of their life their kids are going through, right? Because I want to know if they lost their teeth, because I will take a picture of that missing tooth.
Right.
I want to know if there's, I don't know, curl on their baby boy, baby girl hair that they really want me to like capture there, or the connection with the sibling is very tight. What do they do? Do they dance around, or on the beach, do they chase each other, tickle, all those things. But another important thing to mention is, I want to always take a picture of the mom and dad together on the end of the session. I know it's a family session, but it all started with them, just two of them, right? And a lot of times when you take family pictures, you're forgetting about the core of the family, which is mom and dad, right? And a lot of times, husband or dad, it's not so excited about the pictures. They are there because they know it's important to mom, so that's why they're doing this for her, because he loves her. And they tend to be a little worried about, well, my husband is not very comfortable in front of the camera, or we can be a little stiff. So what I try to do, I want them, the arts, I want them to know that it matters to me, their impact matters to me. So, for example, I would be walking down to the location with them, and I would ask them a question. Okay, how do you play with your son? What would you want me to capture? Do you guys chase each other? What do? You put him upside down? Do you tickle? How is it? How do you embrace your wife? Do you guys kiss in public? Do you hug? Does she put the head on your shoulder? And once that feels like his opinion matters and he can, have some kind of impact on the session, it's so much easier. Yeah, it really is. And they become more comfortable. Yeah, they kind of feel like they're part of the project, they want to matter in it too.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point and good tip that with getting everybody involved.
Everybody involved. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, you did great. This will go up probably the 1st or 2nd of November. So, okay. Not next week, but the week after. But I need from you a picture of you we can use on the site, and then a copy of your logo.
Okay.
And then just a 2 or 3 sentence bio for you. And then 2 or 3 sentences about your business.
Okay. And picture and logo. Okay. Anything else?
That's it. And you can just email those to me sometime next week. It doesn't have to be today. It's not like a huge rush, but if you could get it to me, by Wednesday or Thursday next week, because then we get the episode all ready to go.
All right. Well, let me know if I need to redo anything.
No, I think you did great. I think it's good. I thought it was great. You had some really good information. It's always funny to me, like when I do I think up the questions and I kind of think about how it's going to go. And I'm like, and I try to always do different, we've never had a photographer before. So I always try to think about how that's going to go. And it's every single episode, people answer or come up with something that I never thought of before. And I'm like, that's a good and it's just so interesting to chat about your work and how, I've really enjoyed, it's been really weird doing it all remote, and was not our intention at all when we launched, but It's been neat, connecting with other moms and just hearing about, how they got started and how you hadn't so many interviews start with well, I didn't plan to do this, but this is kind of what happened, or I had a baby, so then I wrote a book. And it's just it's so interesting to hear everybody's stories. So I just really appreciate you taking time to chat with me.
Yeah.
And let me know if there's anything else you need, or and I'll send you over as soon as it goes live. I'll send you a link, and we'll tag you on social media and everything also.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thanks. Have a great day.
Listening to myself is not going to be something I'm going to enjoy.
It's okay. I hate the way my voice. My sister's you started a podcast. You didn't want to leave an outgoing message on your machine. It's weird how it just doesn't. It's one of those things I just got over. You know what I mean? The more you listen, the more you're oh, maybe I'm not as annoying as I think I am. But yeah, you'll like it. It'll be good. All right. Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.